that. But like I said, it's pumped up, and I'm sure Loma's pretty pumped up for the fight too. So it's going to be a great fight.
What would you make of it? You know, if you were in Lomachenko's shoes, what do you make of it on the title side?
No, it could be like, you know, the mindset of Haney. Really want to get under the skin of Loma. It could be showing that Haney's got, I'm here, I'm ready to show what I got. Or there could be other things that he's going in his head too. So you can take a lot of, you know, sides of what we just saw.
Hey, you're getting ready for Max Hughes. How's training camp going?
Training camp is good, man. I'm in great shape, great condition. I'm very, I'm refreshed. I feel good. And obviously, it's no secret. I had a very big 1 year block with Lopez and Haney twice. A lot of big fights, a lot of you know, promotion and media and all that work. So I had time to be able to step back a little bit, enjoy with my kids and family, still train, and I'm looking forward to coming back within the next 10 weeks. The fight will be on. The announcement of the date will be official very soon, and I'm back. Ferocious is back. Simple as that.
Yeah, you fought Devin.
Did that push look premeditated? Devin Haney
honestly,
I
didn't see it from this angle because everyone was in the way. But maybe just, you know, it's a big fight. It's when me and Dev fought the same. It's a big fight and there's a lot of emotion and there's a lot on the line. You know, there's a lot of pressure on both sides. So maybe he said I'm going to try to get under the skin even more of him, or it's the moment it happened. Yeah.
Last one for me, George. How much bigger did Devin look than Loma? What'd you make of the size?
Yeah. Devin is obviously the bigger man. He's you know, a lot, you know, with a reach, 6-inch reach difference. Loma looks solid though too. You know, he's got a bit of size on him as well. But you know, yeah, the physical aspect obviously Haney has that.
Hey, you fought Devin 2 times. Nobody knows him better than you. So what would you say are some of Devin's flaws that Lomachenko can exploit?
Look, Devin, to exploit his flaws, he's got very few. The inside game, you know, I thought I had a little bit of success. You know, in times of being on the inside and landing some shots to the body, you really saw some good shots there. Sometimes when maybe Devin lapsed a little bit, I was able to land some really good right hands, especially in the second fight. In round 9, I landed some really good right hands. But again, 2 different fighters. Me and Lomachenko are different fighters. Loma's, you know, he's got great footwork. You know, he moves a lot. Myself, I'm rugged. I'll throw big shots. I come looking for that big shots. There's 2 kind of different styles. I feel that I got a lot more speed than what Lomachenko has. So. Look, it's an interesting fight and styles make fights, but you know, Devin does have the edge and you've got to go with that.
What about that jab? What about that jab you got?
The jab is a tremendous jab. It's as much as you prepare, and obviously in the first fight he landed that jab quite well. In the second fight we prepared very well to get away from that jab, but he was still able to land that because the kind of fighter Devin is, because he's big and rangy and has that reach, he makes you feel like you need to work harder. And I think Loma's going to feel that he has to work harder. Now, when you work harder, you open yourself up a lot more. Now, you kind of forget about that jab, that sharp jab when you're trying to land your big shots. So he's got that pinpoint jab. You know, he's got that distance, great defense, and you know, he's a very good fighter.
George, Lomachenko.
Look, I think styles make fights. I think me and Lomachenko will be an unbelievable fight, a great fight. And regardless of what happens tomorrow, I'd love to have that fight with Lomachenko. We were scheduled to fight, so he's a big name still in Australia. I'm a massive name in Australia. We could still do 30, 40, 50,000 people in Australia regardless of what happens tomorrow. The way I would fight Lomachenko is use my speed, use my angles as well, and try to be, you know, relentless. You know, I think he hates it when you got a rough and tough kind of guy, especially like myself. We saw it with Salido, we saw it with Lopez, able to keep him on the outside. I think that's one of the things too, keeping him on the outside. Now, Devin, I think, is going to keep him with that reach, definitely on the outside. If he does get on the inside, it becomes a more difficult fight.
Now, who do you think is more skillful between Devin and Lomachenko?
Well, look, I haven't fought Lomachenko, but you know, I've been in there with Devin. Very, very skilled fighter, the most skilled fighter I've ever been in there. And you know, when you look at both guys, they both have, you know, great attributes, but I fought Devin, so I've got to go with that. Until I've fought Lomachenko, then I can give up.
George,
Shakur said that you turned down the fight.
No, definitely. Look, you know me. Look at my track record. I'll fight any man living. It doesn't bother me. I had fought TFM Lopez, November 27th, Madison Square Garden, shocked the world, took all the belts. Instead of having a parade in Australia, tune up, whatever we could have done, it was there. There was 10 different names we could have. We went straight into a possible Lomachenko fight, couldn't do it. Devin Haney twice. So my last fight with Devin Haney was October 16th. Within a year, less, 11 months, I fought 2 of the supposed 4 kings and another one, which obviously couldn't make the fight happen. So for me, I never turn down no fight. It's got to make sense. I've made enough money in this sport to pick and choose when I want to fight, when I feel great. Now, I'm not a silly man. If I was going to fight Shakur in April, that means I would have been having to be in proper camp in January. I've got 3 kids, so I want to spend time with them. I was on holidays. He went through the list. Isaac Cruz, how many world titles he won? None. How much money he made? Not much. Zapata, same thing. How many titles you won? None. How much money you made? None. So not much at all anyway. So it came down to where it's like, no, it doesn't make sense for me. I'm on holidays. We have our own plans, and I've got a job to do very soon. And then from there, it makes sense. Let's do it.
Speaking of Tio,
I'll fight any man.
Speaking of Tio, how you see the fight with him and Josh Taylor playing?
It's a very good fight. Again, styles make fights. I think Josh Taylor has the edge in that fight. You know, he's a very good natural 140-pounder. But again, you can't write Tio off. You know, he's a very good fighter himself. And again, it just depends. We haven't seen Tio since I did what I did to him. You know, look good at all. Questioning himself, the confidence, is it there? We'll have to wait and see.
George, I came over here a little bit late, so you probably already answered this, but obviously your thoughts on the weigh-in and then the push, and the size difference as well, just your thoughts on the weigh-in overall.
Yeah, it was a little bit difficult for me to see it from this angle, but I'll check it out on the replay. Look, they're both hyped up for the fight. They're both very excited for the fight, a lot at stake, and we're going to have to wait and see. Is it emotion? Is it just showing that, hey, you know, I'm the champ?
You think maybe he's trying to get in his head?
Yeah, it could be that. Size-wise, obviously Haney is you know, much bigger. But again, Loma looks quite solid as well, so it's going to be an interesting fight.
You spoke on the jab. Obviously, that was no surprise. What would you say was a surprise? I mean, you did 36 rounds with Haney. 24.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 24 rounds with Haney. What would you say was a surprise or the biggest takeaway of the 2 fights?
Look, he's just the defensive style that he has as well. He just makes you work so much extra, you know, to land your shots. Maybe he gets a good shot off and I've got to try land 3 or 4. And he makes me miss, and one might just glance, and then he comes back again. He makes you work harder than what you usually work in the ring. You've got to be extremely fit, and we saw in the first fight, but in the second fight, I came in tremendous condition. Body was in unbelievable condition, and yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't enough, but what a hell of a fight. That second fight, we've never seen Devin with a cut, blood in his mouth before, and I was able to do that. Obviously, I had my own cuts on my own face, but I love that. I'm a warrior. I love that.
Some fans say that Devin is pillow-fisted. He has no power. You've been in there with him twice, so tell us what his power is like.
No, definitely not. He's got a very, very solid power. It's an explosive power. I was talking about this earlier today in another interview that power is different for every person. If I quickly jab you like that, without you noticing, it's going to hurt, right? Or you got that thumping power that really you feel. Devin's got that sharp power.
Rate it from 1 to 10.
I'm not rating it because at the end of the day, it's everyone's different. You know, I've been in some real solid fights, some big fights. I've taken some big shots in my career where I feel the power and I can get through it. Some other guys that don't feel power might rate it a different size. So I'm not going to rate it, but you know, he definitely has power, and you know, let's see tomorrow.
You've been in there with Teofimo Lopez 12 rounds. You've been in there 24 rounds with Devin. Who has more power, and who do you think wins if Devin moves up to 140 in his next fight?
Look, I think Lopez has more of the thumping power. You know what I mean? It's that thump. But again, thumping power doesn't win you fights. It's the sharpness. It's the shots that you don't see. That you know, take its toll and break him down. That's what Devin has. If they were to fight at 140, I think Devin is again the jab, the movement. You know, he'd be able to pick him from distance. But again, Lopez, you can never count him out. He's a very good fighter, regardless of what I did to him. He's a very good fighter, and let's see what he does with Josh Taylor. If he was to beat Josh Taylor, that puts him back, you know, right up there, and then interesting super fights to be made.
Hey, the lightweight division is the deepest division in boxing. We have Tank and we have Shakur out there.
Yeah.
Who would you say is the best lightweight in the world right now?
Right now is Devin Haney. He's got all the belts. He's the man that is at the top. He beat the man that beat the man that beat the man. So he's the guy right now. Look, big respect to Shakur and Gervonta Davis, all these guys. Shakur's just come to the division. Tremendous fighter, great talent. So again, he's definitely going to make some noise. And Tank as well. I think Tank is a tremendous fighter, but he hasn't fought the top end guys to rate him where he's the number one.
If Devin,
great fighter.
If Devin beats Loma, is that the fight you want next?
If Devin beats Lomachenko, fight Devin again. No, that's definitely not at this point. A fight that, look, I'm a serious kind of guy. I'm a realist. That fight doesn't make sense right now. I need to get back on my horse and bounce back and look impressive where the fans want to see it. We saw in Australia what we were able to do, 45,000 in a stadium, because the fans demanded it. They want to see it. So there's other options out there for me, but I've got to bounce back. I've got to make my statements.
How about Gervonta and Shakur?
Yes, Gervonta, Shakur are all guys that I love to fight, guys that I want to fight. And again, Lomachenko, regardless of what happens tomorrow, that is a fight that was supposed to happen, and a fight where styles make fights. I'd love to get on with Lomachenko. He's a big name. I've got a lot of respect for him as well, and definitely we can make that fight happen.
What did you think about Champ's performance against Ryan last week?
Very good performance. Good performance, smart performance, timed his shots, picked the moments. We saw Ryan coming in crazy in that round 2 when he dropped him. It was round 2, I'm pretty sure. And